What if I told you that most of the universe has never actually been seen? Seriously, look at your hands. Look around the room you're in right now. Literally everything you have ever known, touched, or seen, every planet, every star, every galaxy out there, it all makes up less than 5% of reality. So, what about the rest? What if the other 95% of the universe is a shadow realm operating completely invisibly right in front of us? Well, after a grueling 90-year search, scientists might have finally captured a glimpse of it. To put this into perspective, we are drastically outnumbered by invisible forces. The universe is actually composed of 25% dark matter and a staggering 70% dark energy. Now, we'll get to that terrifying dark energy twist a little later, but first, a newly discovered glowing signal might just be our very first real clue to cracking that 25% dark matter slice. Which brings us to part one. The cosmic crime scene, a 90-year mystery. To actually understand this new signal, we kind of have to treat the universe like a giant cold case. The mystery really kicks off back in 1933. A brilliant astronomer named Fritz Zwicky was observing something called the Coma Cluster, and he realized the galaxies inside it were moving so impossibly fast that the entire cluster should have just violently ripped itself apart. The gravity from all the visible stars wasn't even close to being enough to hold them together. Zwicky deduced that some kind of invisible cosmic glue had to be anchoring these galaxies. He called it dunkle materia, or dark matter. And you know what happened next? For decades, his incredible realization was met by the scientific world with complete and utter silence. Section 2. The universe's invisible skeleton. Okay, so that silence, it was completely shattered in the 1970s. Astronomer Vera Rubin proved this invisible culprit wasn't just hiding out in distant galaxy clusters, it was haunting our very own galactic backyard. She discovered that stars on the extreme outer edges of spiral galaxies were orbiting just as fast as the ones right near the dense core. According to our standard laws of Newtonian gravity, those outer stars should absolutely be flung out into deep space. But they aren't. To keep them intact, an immense, invisible halo of mass absolutely has to be encasing the entire structure. And by 2007, the aftermath of two colliding galaxy clusters, known as the Bullet Cluster, gave us three massive smoking guns. We saw bizarre galaxy velocities, X-ray spectrum drag, and gravitational lensing. That last one is wild. It's literally the mass of this invisible stuff bending light itself and warping space-time. It proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that an invisible skeleton shapes the entire cosmic web. And honestly, this perfectly captures where we are right now. It is profoundly humbling, isn't it? The very structure of our universe relies entirely on a substance that completely refuses to interact with light, leaving us, quite literally, in the dark. Section 3. Suspects in the dark. What actually is it? So here's the crucial point. If it's not black holes, and it's not dead stars, what exactly is this invisible mass made of? Well, for decades, the leading suspects have been WIMPs, weakly interacting massive particles. These are theoretical, incredibly heavy, invisible remnants from the Big Bang. They're completely electromagnetically neutral, meaning they only communicate with our world through gravity. If they exist, trillions of them are passing right through your body at this exact second, leaving absolutely no trace. But astrophysicists are also exploring some seriously mind-bending alternatives. We're contrasting these subatomic particles against the terrifying and fascinating idea that we might just be feeling the gravitational pressure of a parallel universe. Yeah, just think about the implications of that for a second. Dark matter might just be gravity leaking out of a higher fourth dimension, bleeding into our reality like a cosmic plumbing disaster. The very gravity holding our own galaxy together could be spilling over from another spacetime entirely. How crazy is that? Moving into Section 4, a signal in the shadows, the 2024 reveal. Now, remember that anomalous signal I mentioned at the very beginning? This is where it gets incredibly exciting, because it might finally put those multidimensional theories to rest and prove the particles are real. Dr. Tomonori Totani painstakingly scraped through 15 years of data from the Fermi Space Telescope. By wiping away all the normal starlight, the known black holes, and the pulsars, what remained was astonishing. It was a ghostly gamma-ray glow that perfectly matched the predicted spherical shape of the Milky Way's dark matter halo. And that number right there, a massive peak at exactly 20 gigaelectron volts, is a real game changer. That is exactly the energy level we would expect to see if invisible WIMPs were finally crashing into each other and annihilating, giving off a sudden brilliant burst of radiation. So have we finally caught the invisible culprit? Well, the entire scientific community is basically holding its breath right now. We're waiting for the incredible new Vera Rubin Observatory in Chile to verify this data, but make no mistake, this is the most electrifying dark matter lead we've had in decades. Which brings us to our final part, Section 5, the dark energy twist. Just as we feel like we're finally closing in on the universe's invisible skeleton, we have to face the ultimate twist in this cosmic mystery, because dark matter has a terrifying rival. Back in 1998, astronomers measuring distant supernovae fully expected to see the universe's expansion slowing down, pulled back by the massive gravity of all that dark matter. But instead, they found it was speeding up exponentially. We are witnessing a literal cosmic war happening right now. Dark matter's gravity is desperately pulling, fighting to hold galaxies and clusters together. But it's being completely overwhelmed by dark energy, which, as we saw earlier, makes up a massive 70% of reality, tearing empty space apart. You see, empty space isn't actually empty. It's boiling with a repulsive tension, an intrinsic property of space itself that actually multiplies as the universe expands. It might even be what Einstein once discarded as his cosmological constant, and it is literally driving the cosmos apart. Because dark energy gets stronger as empty space expands, it will eventually overpower everything. Fast forward 100 billion years, and it's going to push all other galaxies completely beyond our visual horizon. It's called the Big Rip, and it will leave our galaxy completely physically isolated, plunging us into eternal darkness. It really forces us to ask a profound question. Are we just living in a fleeting moment of light? Is this beautiful era of visible, swirling galaxies just a brief, incredibly lucky chapter in a universe destined to be ruled entirely by the dark sector? It's a mystery that pushes the absolute limits of human understanding. So I have to ask you, are you Team WIMP, Team Exion, or Team Gravity leaking from another dimension? If dark matter really is gravity bleeding from a parallel universe, what do you think is on the other side? Astrophysicists are literally debating this right now, so let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and as always, stay curious.